Welcome back. We got to talk about it. It's being known as the dress, and so I'm gonna try not to call too much attention to it as much as I can, because you can be successful, but you can also be modest. Couple factors behind this. So there is a certain quick backstory. There is a certain R&B pop singer, if you will, that recently went viral for her dress at the Oscars 2023. Now it seemed like, you know, I'm not married, so we're not going to approach it that way. Okay, we are not going to address it that way. The part I want to get at is exactly this. You can be modest as well as successful. And as I move forward talking about this and sharing this, I'm also going to be deep conditioning my hair. So if I'm looking down, my mirror's here. But let me get myself a nice another sip of orange juice. I, for one, grew up listening to the girl before I completely cut off listening to secular music. If you're new here, this is another edition of Benefits of Self-Care. I'm either conducting some activity like now, in some form or another, and chatting about some topics here that are kind of closely related to what I do on the channel. Whether I leave this up after the stream, we'll see. So when she met her current husband, and again, I'm trying not to approach this from an area of marriage, but prior to all this, it was perceived that she represented the Most High God. Okay, cool. Thing about that is, you can do your research. You shall know them by your fruit. Girl came to the Oscars in Toronto. Everything was on display, as if she was in the Garden of Eden. You can be successful. Of course, success is defined a bit different by God's standards. Cool. You can wear whatever you want, single or married. Right now, I'm just focusing on the current season I'm in, single. Okay. It says a lot about you when you get to wearing stuff that is quite revealing, or these days I call it floss. Oh, this is a dress, and I'm like, that's not a dress. That look like it's from Victoria. Don't tell nobody. You go buy it in there. You go. It just looked like you went up in Victoria. Don't tell nobody, and went to buy the whole secret. That's Victoria's whole secret dress. and here I want to speak in general when I say this. When you love yourself, and when you are most importantly secure within yourself, I know we it's not likely that you're going to walk out with floss on. It's not likely that you are, because when you know, okay, I can look great and still be modest. I can look great now. Not even if you have a shape. There's some stuff you're just not gonna be able to help. But sister girl, put on the floss. You hear me? I'm thinking about right now, and I'll probably link it in my community tab after the stream. Particular video when I was talking about, and I'm just group them all together in a playlist for y'all, where I've spoken about taking care of your lady parts. Now I know this ain't got nothing to do with it, but her lady parts was all on display. Okay, the girls, the jingle bell, whatever you want to call it. But one of the things I spoke about is wearing the tight clothes. Okay, cool. As a woman, I am aware. I am fully aware. Everyone wants to look great in her clothing. Cool. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got a problem with it. But if we could see everything the Lord has made you with, all of your equipment, if we could see your equipment, clothing ain't doing a good job. Is it the clothing's fault, or is it your fault because you made the personal choice? I'm just putting that out there. Because I know that whatever you think about this situation is just going to be your personal choice. And I'm cool. I'm cool with that, because at the end of the day, the decision is going to be between you and God. When you love yourself enough to dress in a way that is not revealing, then you tend to not get that unwanted attention, or go viral for the wrong reason, or have the negative attention put on you at all. And the saddest part is they're dragging her husband through it. As a single woman with a relationship with God, speaking of myself, how I carry myself, not just how I dress. If I say I represent God, that's going to reflect a whole lot if I walk out here with floss. You hear me? I was raised different. That doesn't make me better or worse than anybody, but it does matter. And another factor that comes into it as well is, you say you represent God. Well, it does convict you. Did you have any conviction about when you sent your assistant, however you do your shopping, when you click the buy button, buy now, or delivery, or express, or when you had someone to bring it to you? Did you have any conviction there? 'Cause I know you saw pictures of it prior to buying it, sis. Can't tell you didn't see that dress before you bought it. Just help me understand. Help me understand that. If you love God, you will follow His commandments. Just a couple things is just coming to me. That means you'll follow what God tells you. See, I've been on both sides of the spectrum, seeing the part where people are religious about it. That just restricts the flow of whatever God wants to do. It'll be uncomfortable for everybody. And then I've also been on the side currently of having a relationship with your Father in heaven, and He convicts you. If conviction doesn't move you to be like, okay, I'm gonna pick a different dress, I'm gonna pick a different blouse, I'm gonna pick a different pair of pants, or maybe you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna pick a different ensemble to wear. Then at that point, you've moving forward, you've decided that God convicting you, instead of you just feel like, hey God, I got this one, I'm cool. And we know and that's not going to turn out well for you, because look what's happening. And it was probably done for a thrill. These are only just my guesses. And it just is, mean, that's what I keep coming back to. You sing about love and all this other stuff like this, and sis, you love yourself. Why is you half naked every time I see you? Oh, I haven't been stopped listening to her music years ago. But sis, you love yourself. Man treating you how you supposed to treat you. Stills? Okay. That's why I'm trying not to tackle this. I'm not trying not to speak on this from a marital perspective because I am single. But still, it's just like woman that loves herself regardless of her relationship status should reflect that she loves herself by how she dresses. And of course, that isn't completely foolproof because you got some men, they'll still hey look at you, they'll still do it, and you could be covered like a nun. Okay. At that point, that's his problem, not yours. That's just the way I feel about it. That's my perspective. And I normally don't keep up with this stuff. But it just kept being plastered everywhere. You feel me? Kept being plastered everywhere. Cool. You love yourself. You sing about how much you love yourself. Cool. Why are you dressing in a way that screams, I need attention? When you don't have to beg for it. You feel me? Single or married. I can only speak from the single aspect right now. Why? You love yourself. You can still, there's still plenty of ways where you can get a second look, you can look good, feel good about yourself, and have that self-confidence and self-respect. And not walk out there with wearing floss. Just my opinion. I understand everyone not gonna agree with me, and that's cool. Yeah, this deep conditioning is going pretty fast. I mean, I'm just having trouble wrapping my head around it. You love God, but I'm pretty sure he spoke to you about that dress now. Hey, hey daughter, that ain't covering some areas. Like, what? You don't pay attention to that? And I'm trying to articulate this in the most comedic way because even though people get offended, it's like deep down they know. They know. That's why when men go to now, that's a whole different. I think I would need a whole nother space and platform to go over that section of things about relationships in general. But just look at who they marrying. Just look at who the men are marrying. I'm just saying. They ain't wearing floss unless they made some agreement or and fussed the man out or something. But if you love yourself, sis, what I need you to do, you may never see this. I'm cool with that. You love yourself and you giving that off and about your body image and everything. I need you to step back from the floss dresses for good. Transition out of it. It's baby steps. I wouldn't understand that part. But you love yourself? Show us, because that dress did not show us that you love yourself. It screams, I need attention. For what? There's a root cause behind everything. Please love yourself. This goes for anyone watching or whoever may watch after this. Please love yourself enough. And this isn't just about dressing modestly. I don't want to say dressing right and turn that into a black and white versus thing, but it is black and white. If you love yourself, you will never feel the need to do that, dress provocatively for attention, act provocatively for attention. You will be yourself. Now, some people, they're just going to complain anyway, and that's life. But I find it hard to believe that with you singing about loving yourself, and I find it hard to believe, sis, because it don't go together. Dressing in a way that is asking for attention, whether it's negative or positive, and then saying in another breath that, hey, I love myself and you should too. Help me to understand how these both are not translating to one another. Because trust me, if the conviction had hit you before when you were on the way to buying the dress, putting it on, getting ready, and hair and makeup, the conviction's going to be there sooner or later. Hey, that's just the way it is. That's the way I feel about it. You want to be respected, you must carry yourself in a way that calls for, commands that respect. You're successful. Cover it up. Just a little bit, just a little bit. And some stuff, I will say this is the only comment I will say, because she is married. You want to wear the provocative stuff? Hey, save that for at the house. Save that for him, just him. And it gets to a point where it's like that's not enough. There's something deeper going on. All from my observation, because I realize that you all have your own perspective of things, and that's fine. Obviously, I do not have enough conditioner. To do this. And I shall be back. The rest of the conditioner here. Oh. Spoken about this many times, and I need to update my wash day shower routine for the spring. I'll think about it. You won't know until you know. That's my message to anybody, not just this pop R&B singer. If you love yourself, show us by how you what clothing that you grace yourself with. But I wish there was so much more that I could share with you all regarding that. I'd love to call you corny for thinking about dressing modestly, but ain't nothing corny about not wanting unwanted attention. Ain't nothing corny about that. Because as a single woman, you're essentially looking out for your well-being. As a married woman, and I'm saying this in general, speaking from the outside looking in, I'd like to think that you would do that as a representation of yourself, representation of God, and a representation of your husband and family. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I can say about it. And for those that are new that's going to be watching, I don't speak on anything that's including hygiene products I've never tried, nor anything I've never gone through, nor any stages of life I've yet to get to. Marriage is one of those. One day. One day. Which is why I try to stay in the present day of where I'm at to speak about whatever it is. I'm going to split this right down the middle. Evenly distribute everything. Normally I have this deep conditioner mixed with an oil, but just notice I don't have the oil I put it in. So this already has oil, argan oil. And we are going to, since I don't have shower caps, tie this up. Let this process for about, I don't know, just a little time. So I have shared my thoughts about my general thoughts as a single woman as to, and just overall about the dress that is going viral. These are my thoughts about the dress and how you could be successful, but you can also be modest. It depends on a couple factors. Love you.